Let's kill the fantasy. You don't build legacy by journaling, okay? You don't construct a mission by crying in your car and hitting the record button. You don't establish dominion by being emotionally available and spiritually passive, okay? If you're still breathing, you're not done. If you're still thinking God hasn't benched you, if your pulse is still pushing through your chest, then heaven expects output. So let's stop talking about potential. Stop performing your pain. Stop posting about your trauma like it's your job description. Let's build. You want to hear God when it counts, right? Then you better be listening when no one's watching. That means the word before the world. Bible opens up before the phone unlocks, okay? Prayers before people. You don't vent before you've gone vertical. Fasting before feasting. If you can't tell your flesh no, then your spirit will always be outgunned. Obedience before opportunity. You don't need more open doors. You need more discipline with the ones already cracked. Matthew 4:4 says, "A man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." So let me ask you, how many days are you starving spiritually while scrolling like your soul isn't at war? Discipline is where destiny starts. So here's a checklist. Again, no fluff. Money is not optional. Budget like a general. Build like a steward. If you can't feed your house, don't expect to lead it. Muscles. Train, stretch, move with power. You don't need abs, but you need is ownership. Game. Study people. Learn to read, people's intentions, the subtext, the energy. Social acuity isn't a luxury, it's protection. Frame. Know who you are when the storm hits. If someone can knock you down, push you off your purpose with a mood swing, or give you a bad day, you're just still a boy. Every man wants a fortress. Few are willing to lay the stones for it. So lay it down anyways, stone by stone, and build that fortress. Define your fears and then face them daily. See, the enemy hides your next level behind what you're most afraid of. So here's the rule. If you avoid confrontation, you must confront. If you hate responsibility, it's your crown. If you run from visibility, you were meant to lead. Purpose isn't behind your comfort, it's behind your resistance. Nehemiah didn't walk away from ruins. No, he walked into the mess and built anyways. You want to know your calling? You want to know your purpose? Look at the rubble you can't ignore. Build a code or live by the mercy of your emotions. Your standards are your guide rails. They're guide rails for your life. No code, no control. Write your rules, etch them into your soul, live by them until death. Here's a start. I don't explain myself to people committed to misunderstanding me. I don't beg anyone to stay. God's will doesn't walk away. I don't fold under pressure. I pause, process, and execute. I don't tolerate chaos in my house. Peace isn't requested, it's enforced. I don't abandon structure for feelings. I'm not led by vibes, I'm led by vision. If your standards don't offend cowards, then you don't have any standards yet. Find what grieves you and then own it. You know, Nehemiah didn't build walls because he thought it was going to be a good networking opportunity. He built them because something in him said, this cannot remain this way at all. That's your clue. What makes your gut tighten? Is it fatherless homes, cowardly pastors, men walking around with no direction? Or is it women pretending to be leaders while their families collapse? Is it a church who won't confront sin? Then that's your battleground. You don't need a title. You don't need a budget. What you need is passion. What you don't need is permission. Listen, you just need the burden because burden births blueprints. You can't do this alone. Jesus didn't. Paul didn't. Even David had mighty men. But not every man is your brother. Some are just background noise with the Bible app. You want brotherhood? Find men who call out your excuses. Pray with fire, not with empathy. Don't compete with your wins. Don't panic when you're under attack. And hold the damn line when your knees buckle. A real brother isn't someone who coddles you, it's someone who corrects you mid battle and keeps you shooting. If your circle can't call you out, it can't carry your weight. Let me make this really plain for you. You don't build purpose through hypotheticals. You build it through systems, schedules, structure, sacrifice. You don't become a man of influence by hoping. You become one by moving. You say you want to mentor, then start. You say you want to speak truth, start recording. You say you want to lead, then start leading. You say you want to build something, then do it. Stop waiting. Every day you stall, someone else steps into your space that you were anointed to occupy. Audit everything ruthlessly. There's no sacred cows. What's consuming your time and producing nothing? What voices are you listening to that keep you weak? What habits are softening your edge? Who is close to you that actually is really dragging you down? If it subtracts, it gets cut. If it distracts, it gets distanced. If it dishonors your direction, it gets disqualified. You want to build something unshakable? Then you better be willing to burn bridges that lead back to weakness. You're either a man building, defending, or abandoning, and that's it. You weren't made to coast. You weren't made to cope. You were made to construct something eternal. So ask yourself, what am I building that will outlast me? What have I delayed because comfort keeps winning? If I die today, what proof exists that I was a man on an assignment? You've waited long enough. Now build. Build like your soul depends on it. Because, well, honestly, it does. Men are in crisis. Fatherless homes, broken marriages, silent battles no one sees. But weakness, pandering as wisdom, that ends here. Thor once wrote, "The masculine presence doesn't whine, it doesn't shrink. It builds, it conquers, it creates." The sons of Thor exist to forge men into protectors, providers, and patriarchs. This isn't theory. This isn't victimhood. This is brotherhood. Be watchful, stand firm in faith, act like men, be strong. Here, iron sharpens iron. Here, excuses are stripped away. Here, men are remade. This is the forge. This is the call. This is Sons of Thor.